Hey guys, today I'm going to take you on a bit of a garden tour. It is June 19th today, so it's been just over a month since I planted everything. Sorry this video is a little bit delayed. I had hoped to do a garden tour a little earlier in the growing season for you, just to show you everything that I planted right when I planted it, but planting season's always really hectic, and Bruce and I both got sick right after, so just life got in the way, all that kind of craziness, but better late than ever. Let's have a little look inside here and show you what we got going on. So, coming in the garden here, I have these little planters, a couple of containers that I put some flowers, some mint, tomato plant. I like to put little containers in every corner that I can to get as much growing as I possibly can. This is my main tomato bed. A lot of my plants that I started myself this year, I planted way too late. Again, life got in the way, all that fun stuff, procrastinated. But some of my tomatoes and a few things I ended up replacing with stuff from the nursery, just because I wasn't sure in our really short growing season if I was going to get a full crop out of them. So this bed, these are all nursery plants except for these tiny little marigolds you'll see kind of scattered in here. Those are ones I started from seed. They're super small, but along here I got just a little bit of basil, some zinnias. Along here I have some more tomato plants that I replaced with nursery ones, and some marigolds as well. Little planter here that I have some herbs and a couple of flowers. As you can see over here, these are tomatoes that I did not replace, so see the size difference between those and those. Obviously big difference, but we'll see how they do. I didn't want to turf all of them because that would be a huge waste. So anyways, these are different kind of Romanas Ukraine or some Romanas Ukrainian. I can't remember what they're called exactly. These are those ones that I got from the that Heritage Harvest Seed Company that I talked about in my last video. So so far I'm really happy with them. They're healthy little plants. They're just, like I said, really small because I started them late. So again, more little marigolds interplanted in there. My tomatoes I mulched this year just to see if I can keep some retain some moisture a little bit better, obviously. And continuing in this bed, more marigolds. I got marigolds all along everywhere, as you'll see. I have some kale, Cracker Jack marigolds. Along here are my zucchinis, patty pan squash, and at the end I think I have 2 hills of a bush spaghetti squash. So these are all my summer squash, my bush squash. Along the south side of the bed I have a kind of beets. So I think those are cylinder beets, my spinach, and my lettuce. Once these are out of here, I'm going to plant my rutabagas there because they like to finish off in cooler weather. So along everywhere, as you'll see again, I have onions. There's a couple of peppers there. In here hiding is some calendula that I started from seed. Trying to get as many flowers and pest deterrent and pollinator attracting plants interplanted everywhere. That was my goal this year. So along the end of each bed I have my winter squash. So I can't remember exactly. I have it written down, obviously. Oh man, I wish I could remember. This one I know are my varieties of butternut squash. I'm pretty sure this is my spaghetti squash, and that's, yeah, a buttercup squash. So that one I grew a few years ago, and it's a really heavy, really prolific producer, and it keeps really well, really tasty. So yeah, happy about that. I've never actually trellised winter squash before. I've always just let my winter squash take over one full 16-foot bed. So I'm excited to give trellising them a try. Again, at the end of every bed in this little trench, until everything starts getting bigger and crowds it out, I have some radishes growing that, as you can see, have been just completely destroyed. They're still growing and they're bulbing out, but flea beetles have been so bad this year. Let's see if I can get a half decent. You can see them in there. Seriously, the worst year for flea beetles I've ever seen, ever. It's terrible. A lot of my kale plants, actually, these ones and the ones that you'll kind of see interplanted everywhere, are ones that I bought at the nursery that I replaced my kale seedlings because the flea beetles destroyed them when they were first germinating. So, Bruce, honey, what are you doing? Okay, yeah, sorry, honey, I just couldn't see you. Thank you. You can see he's playing in his playhouse over there. Along the fence here, on the outside of the fence, because We no longer have to worry about deer in our yard because we chain link fenced the whole yard a couple years ago. So I'm making use of my old fencing around my garden, and along here I put this little bed in that I put on my pole green beans, some sweet peas, and some sunflowers. Plunked a big zinnia there in the corner because why not? And yeah, all along the back here, this is all the south and the east side. I have all these things, so I'll make use of that. Again, cramming stuff in every corner best I can, because that's how you get a big yield, I guess. I don't know. Making up as I go. More marigolds on, and also on the end, sorry, I forgot to mention, I have parsley interplanted in between these little marigolds here, just to make use of that space. And this bed, I have all my my cabbages in the middle with some more Cracker Jack marigolds, lots of onions. There's most of my carrots there. There's one kind there and another kind here. Some more calendula, a couple more pepper plants. I actually have, I'm really excited about this, blossoms on my pepper plants this year. Usually, in the past, every time I've tried to grow peppers, I tried to grow them in the greenhouse, and I always had an aphid infestation, and they always ate all the buds off them. So I'm really excited that this year I might actually get some peppers. So on that side of the bed, I had to do some replacing. Again, like I said, because of all the kale and the flea beetles destroying it all. Somebody's having a really good time over there with this umbrella. I plunked a tomato in there because there was some room. There was this patch, and that patch at the end where the kales are. Those were actually some summer turnips that didn't germinate, but as you can see in between, there's some, what is that? That's chard and another kind of beet, I think. They're the candy cane beets, the Chiaga beets. They're the pink and white ringed ones. So anyways, oh yeah, right. Sorry, I'm rambling. I keep forgetting there's stuff everywhere. Here, interplanted along all this kind of stuff, there's also little clumps of dill because I'm, like I said, trying to interplant as best I can. Hi, Penny. What are you doing, sweetheart? She's like, it's raining. It's cold. This is all my garlic. I am so happy with how easy it is to grow hardneck garlic where I live. Next year, I think I'm going to actually move my garlic outside of the garden somewhere, find a space where I can grow a very large patch of it, because this, I think this is about 50 heads, or sorry, bulbs of garlic that I put in last year, 50 cloves, and that won't be nearly enough for us for the year. I need to grow like 5 times that much. So in the north bed here, I have some more, a little bit of carrots, beets. These are more of the cylinder beets, some more carrots on the end. Again, lots of marigolds interplanted, some onions. This bed I have a couple different kinds of sage, as well as some rosemary in the middle there. I have, these are my Brussels sprouts, kind of along the back here. Again, interplanted with Cracker Jack marigolds. And here, hiding in between, are some celery plants that I put in. I have never had luck with any kind of brassica before. In previous years when I tried to grow it, I had root maggots, and they killed the seedlings when they were still small. So I might have underestimated just how big brassicas get, and I might have to do some thinning, or stuff might not thrive as much as I want to, and all that fun stuff. But anyways, every year, this is year 8 or year 9 in my garden, I can't remember, and I'm still learning every year, so lots of fun. Yeah, anyways, more, like I said, celery, more the buttercup squash in the end, more radishes, all that fun stuff. Lots of consistency or similarities in every bed. And along here, this trellis are all my pickling cucumbers. There's 2 different varieties. There's half of them are, I think, cross country they're called, and the other one is a national pickling cucumber. Sorry, I'm getting wobbly here. This bed is new this year. I dug this into the ground. It's just a couple different kinds of potatoes that I have. I usually have my potatoes in feed bags in this area, just sitting on top of the mulch. For some of you that might follow me on Instagram, know that I had a bit of a mess up, or whatever you want to call it, with that. I put some lime in my feed bags, potatoes, thinking that a more alkaline soil would reduce scab, where it's actually the opposite. And anyways, I ended up having like I said, a mess up there. But I moved those feed bag potatoes out along the fence there. I'll show you in a minute. Just the damage is already done. I'd already planted them, so we'll see how they do. Maybe they'll be scabby, maybe not. But yeah, anyways, some more potatoes here. This big bin here, I am going to attempt to grow some pumpkins this year. One of them is like a medium large size pumpkin, I think. I don't even really know. It's a random plant I got at the nursery. And this is a little sugar pumpkin that I started. And again, trying to make use of my existing fencing to trellis them. Who knows? It's like I said, lots of learning every year. Trial and error, lots of experimenting. This little bed here, I plunked in the front some more kale plants and some zinnias, a random tomato in the corner because I had room. I had a cotoneaster shrub there, but I pulled it out and moved it over along the fence there. And yeah, I had some room. So this is my asparagus patch. This is the first year I've actually harvested and eaten our asparagus. It was really, really super yum. I'm letting it fern out now and get more established. But yeah, this is the year 4 for my asparagus patch. And yeah, worth the wait, I tell you. Couple of planters here with some strawberries, and take it over quickly to the greenhouse. Let's see what's happening in here. So I have some more tomatoes in here, as you can see, because every greenhouse needs tomatoes. These are all indeterminate tomatoes, so a couple of beefsteak and super fantastic. I think there's a celebrity in there. Anyways, some fresh eating slicing tomatoes, sandwich tomatoes. Another one there. This planter here, I have some slicing cucumbers, and then in these two over here, the one in the front here is a cantaloupe, and that is a watermelon. I've debated pulling them out and putting a yeah, honey, sorry, pulling them out and putting some tomatoes in there, something that I know is going to produce, because I'm pretty sure, even though they're short season varieties, I probably won't get any fruit out of them because they just love the heat and they need to take a long time to grow. So anyways, trial and error, like I said. In front of all the bins here, I have lots of marigolds, lots of basil, and then on this little shelf here are all of my cherry tomatoes. I have 2 different kinds. There's 1, 2, those ones there are the Acadian cherry tomato, and then the other ones are a I can't remember, a red robin something. They're supposed to be a super prolific, super dwarf plant. So yeah, this little flat here is, these are the leftovers of what I did start, and I'm giving these to a friend. And yeah, that's everything that's happening in the greenhouse. So far so good. And then here, like I said, those are those feed bag potatoes that I started. They look really healthy. They're really they're doing really well. I just might have scab, I might not. We'll see. Like I said, lots of experiments. So sorry, last but certainly not least, I always forget to show this bed anytime I'm taking a video or anything. Anyways, this bed is a new bed I put in last fall. It's along the fence. As you can see, there's the garden right there. And again, just trying to make use of every little corner, every little space that I can. But here I have corn, and I've never, again, had corn. It's something I've never had any luck with. But I had hoped that I picked a good short variety, short growing season variety for where we live. Sorry, I'm rambling. And I put it in the ground nice and early. We had really hot weather at the start, and yeah, so far it's so good. I just weeded it and just thinned it. And then at the very end here, I have just, again, a couple extra seed potatoes and had some space. So put some seed potatoes in there. So there you guys have it. That is the garden tour, or the garden update after 1 month. As always, if you like this video, please be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you're having a great day.